I recently read an article about double tax warnings for immigrating South Africa. So there are many reasons to want to leave SA at the moment, and due to that, people have been considering to leave the country. However, before a person leaves the country, you have to know the tax implications of that, and you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're paying tax in South Africa and also paying tax where you are going. So some of the things to consider when you are leaving South Africa is that, am I a tax resident? So you are ordinarily a South African tax resident if you ordinarily reside in SA. So that's what it means. What that means is that they'll look at case laws according to the Tax Act, and certain rules will apply based on if you are ordinarily resident in South Africa for tax purposes. A person can remain ordinarily resident for tax purposes in SA, even if they're out of the country for a longer period. And you have to look at several things to determine whether you are still a resident for tax purposes. One of those things is your place of business or personal interests, your most fixed and settled place of residence, your family, social relationships, school, place of worship, and your social clubs, and your habitual abode. So where you stay the most. So wherever you return from your travelings and you regard as home, that is your ordinary. That means that you are ordinarily resident in South Africa for tax purposes. If you are leaving South Africa permanently, you'll have to follow the tax immigration process. That means that you have to complete the registration, amendments, and verification form, the Rev 01 on SARS e-filing. Here you have to make sure that you capture the correct date that you cease to be a tax resident under the income tax liability details section, and you must also update prior to submission of your annual tax returns to avoid tax being selected for manual intervention by SARS. The second thing you'll have to do is to look out for a letter for SARS in response to this form. So SARS is going to respond to that form that you would have done and to submit supporting documentation to SARS requests, which include the declaration of ceasing to be a tax resident. And then you have to refer to cease to be a resident page on the SARS website for more information. So if you want to leave SA permanently, there are steps that you have to do. You don't just say adios, bye. You have to go on the SARS website and to fill in that form, wait for SARS response. SARS is going to then ask you for information, more supporting documentation, and then you submit that, and you have to do this before you do your annual tax return. So this is just an update of what could be a tax implication of people wanting to leave South Africa, and that if you want to immigrate and leave, which what they're saying that lots of people are doing that at the moment, there are things that you have to follow and things that you have to do if you don't want to pay tax in both places. There are more things that go into it, and a tax expert, tax consultant, practitioner will be able to help you with things like double taxation, which countries we've got an agreement with, and different types of things like that. So before you do move, you just want to make sure that you have the right information and you get all the advice that you need. We'll keep you updated if something's happened. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.